Hi everyone, I reviewed this monitor a few weeks ago, which is for my camcorder, and I haven't actually used it since. And the reason for that is that I have two options to power this. I can either plug in an AC adapter, which is kind of a hassle because that's an extra wire running around the room, or I can plug in a battery. But as mentioned in my previous video, I use Canon batteries and they don't fit this. I think this is for Sony or something like that. So what I want to do today is see if I can run this off USB power banks. Now, one thing I thought about is actually taking off this adapter plate because it looks like you can unscrew it, and then using my Canon battery charger. This is just a generic one, but using this as a way of holding the battery and then having a couple wires coming out the back going into this unit. So instead of using it as a charger, I would just use it as a battery holder. But then I thought, well, I've got so many of these power banks, it would probably be better if I could just run this thing off USB power. So that's what we're going to see. Can this actually be run from 5V USB? I'm hoping yes, otherwise this isn't going to be much of a video. So the first thing I'm going to do is just test with this power supply because it's easy to change the voltage. So I'll set it to around 5 volts and I'll basically just connect the things on here and see if it works. So it's already marked, which is handy. I got negative here and positive here, and let's see if it works. Ooh, bad news, doesn't work. Let's try turn up the voltage. Okay, so look, at around 6 volts it looks like it's going to turn on. Or maybe not. Oh, it just clicked, I just heard it click. Let's increase the voltage a little bit. So we're now at 7 volts. Try turn that on. Okay, so we're okay at 7 volts, but at the lower voltage it's a no-go. Now that is kind of annoying because I was really looking forward to powering this from a USB power bank. Now of course some of you will be watching this and saying, well, you can take the 5 volts out, put it through a step up and use it like that, but that's just going to complicate things, and I really wanted to keep this as simple as possible. Now I said earlier that I could use this battery charger as a holder and use that to connect it to this. Now the reason why I don't really want to do that is because this is quite a convenient charger. If I go away I can throw this in my bag and then all I need is USB power to recharge my Canon batteries, which is a lot easier than carrying the original AC charger. But what I also have is another external charger, and that's this one here, which is a dual battery charger. Now I like this one because I can charge both batteries at the same time, but I usually don't do that because I only have 2 batteries, and one battery is usually in the camera and the other one's in the charger. So I'd rather keep this one unmodified and actually just take one of the plates off this, like that, and use this to connect my battery to the monitor here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sacrifice one of these little holder things from this. I might even email Expro and ask them about getting just a replacement of this, because it's basically just plastic with a couple of contacts, but it's just convenient because it does actually hold the battery properly. So I think this is what we're going to use to power the monitor. So let's start by removing the screws that hold this old one in place and actually see what's underneath. Okay, so we've just got a simple little connector here. This looks like a standard connector. Probably easy to source these from other places, but I'll probably just take this one straight off here because I can't see myself ever buying these batteries. So this is what it looks like inside. It's basically just the terminals here, soldered here with some glue over the top, and then going to these back terminals. So I'm just going to desolder them from here, and then also desolder or cut these ones off, join the wires together, and should be job done. So that was pretty easy. All I have to do now is join these 2 wires together. My fingers aren't really steady enough for this, but it should be okay. Now just make sure they're secure. Now before I put some tape around these connections to stop them from shorting out, I'm just going to plug it into the board and see if it actually works. So let's put in our battery. Well, we've got the LED on, let's see if it turns on. There you go, it's running from our Canon battery. So let's turn this off, disconnect our battery, and I'll just get some tape to put around these. So all I have to do now is find a way to secure this to this, and I think I'm just going to use this 3M double-sided tape. That should hold it secure enough. So let's see if that tape is enough to hold it. Yep, that's not coming off anytime soon. What I might do is use my knife to try and cut away the excess so that it looks a bit better, but that's a pretty solid fixture right there. Let's put in our battery. Boom, we're in. And there you go, that's ready for my camcorder to be plugged into via the HDMI, and I can use it without having to plug in a cable every time. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.